Why, hello there. Now, I made an old video of this before, and I noticed that I didn't explain everything I know. Well, or at least there's more to explain. So, that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. I guess this is kind of part 2 of my last video. So, how to make 3D Minecraft animations with Blender. Now, I've released a music video with me singing. Yeah, that. But, and it has me, I've animated the whole thing, and as you can see, Steve has a face and that stuff. So, I'm going to teach you basically how to make an animation like I did in that video. Now, a lot of you are asking, well, how do I take a world I've already made in Minecraft and put it into Blender? Well, now I'm going to show you that. Here. Mineways is the program. Right here. There will be a link in the description to download this. Now, what you got to do is, it'll automatically, it should, if it doesn't automatically find all of your worlds, you can open it, you can just browse to it. Here. But, who needs that? I'm going to open a random world. How about I open... Ooh, how about I open an old version of my hijacked world? Oh. Yeah, okay. Sometimes there will be new block types, like in this case, I have hoppers and stuff. But as you can see, it gives you a... Oh. It gives you a top view of everything. You can just drag it around with normal click. It gives you a top view of the whole world. Now... I guess it's being a little bit slow because I'm recording, but now you can right-click you can drag right-click to select a selection. It'll say that it has certain depths, and then you can, if you want it to be a certain bit deep, see, you can make it only cover certain parts. Actually, the less blocks you import into Blender, the faster it'll probably be. I'm gonna see. I'll probably end up only importing the I'll probably only import the boat. Just stuff that... Just so that it isn't too much. So yeah, once you've got what you want selected, basically, you just File, Export for rendering. I'll just call it Hijacked. There we go. Export for rendering, and you might check that off depending on... how your Mineways work. People have done it or not, but I don't know, I just don't check it off. So, as you can see, that's done loading. So now if I go into my Mineways folder, Mineways, yep, bad typing. If I go into my Mineways folder, in here should be hijacked.obj. It's an OBJ. I can't really open that with anything at the moment, but I can open it with Blender. So I'm just going to open up Blender. Now, I recently got a little thing, since you guys were all like, oh, how did you do this? How did you do that? How did you move the camera around? Middle click button, by the way. I'm actually going to activate this thing. Bam, right there. See right there? You can see everything I do. Every button I press. Everything I do. You can see it all. So also you're gonna have to do some properties. So go to your user preferences, and here are the add-ons. Add-ons is what you're gonna want to go to. You're gonna want to go to one of these import exports, and the one that you're gonna want, I should already have activated. Import export wavefront OVG format. This one. You're going to want to activate that. It might be deactivated. An easier way to find it is to just highlight Import Export. It gives you all of those. And also, for all you who don't have a middle mouse button, you can go into Input and go Emulate 3-button mouse. That lets you use the Alt and Shift keys to act like you have a 3-button mouse, basically. So, if you want to, you can activate that. So now that you've got that OBJ rendered from Mineways, I'll just delete this with X, as you can see, down there. But, alright. So, I'm going to File, Import, Wavefront OBJ. Now here you're just going to want to go to your MindWays folder. I'm going to find hijack.obj. To make sure you don't accidentally do the MTL, you're going to want the OBJ. Import it. This could take a second, depending on your computer. And bam, see, look, hijacked map. You can't see the textures at the moment. That's only just because of the specifics of this project that I'm in. But it's actually better that way because then it doesn't lag your Blender as much. Now, seeing the texture shouldn't be a problem. See, I just pressed F12. It gives me a rendered version. As you can see in the rendered version, all the textures are there. Now, some textures may work better than others. Textures that require transparency kind of are a bit odd, but, you know, it works quite well. And you can select certain blocks out of it, blah, blah, blah. But now that you know how to import worlds and stuff like that, I'm going to show you a whole new rig. Now, I showed you that rig before, that other Steve rig. I use that whenever I need to apply a skin. But if I don't need to apply a skin, what I'll do instead is I'll go into my Minecraft rigs, and it should be the one called Minecraft here. Minecraft rig v2.blend. This is a rig by VM Comics, I think is his name. Now, I like to use this rig, but I have to give him credit because he's the one who made this rig. So, as you can see, we've got Steve here, and you can adjust his face. So if you go right here and highlight the face, also I'm going to want to make sure it shows what I press. You highlight the face, you've got this face settings. Now, in my Steve versus Herobrine video, I used this, and to make Herobrine, I just went like that, and removed his eyes. But, yeah. And so you can move his eyebrows, kind of gibble them up, whatever you want. And then it's got plenty of arm controls. Plenty of different arm weirdness. I'm totally screwing him up. But, anyway. So, you guys were wondering, okay, so yeah, I've got this world thing. I need tools. Come on, man, give me tools. How the heck am I going to make an animation without tools? Well, there's more and more rigs. This Minecraft item rig, this is good. Open it up. You've got basically every item you could imagine in the Minecraft. It's an older version, but yeah, it's got a lot of stuff. Ooh, I could have used that drawn back bow. Never thought of that. Whatever. So now this is how you get items from one thing to another. Okay, let's say Steve needs an iron sword or a diamond sword. Why not a diamond sword? So look, I go right here and it says diamond sword. So I know what that's called, and I know that the rig is called Minecraft item rig.blend. So to add stuff in, I can go File, Append, and you can use Link, but Link does different things and doesn't let you have enough options. I prefer Append because it basically just puts it right in. So I got my item rig. Now I go into Object, and bam, here are all the objects. So I just find where it's diamond. I find where it says diamond sword right here. Perfect. Link/append, and it might be a bit far away, but as you can see, I have a diamond sword. Also, you can move things along certain axes or something if you press like Y or Z or X after you press G, which is to move. Like I used to use right click, but I find that G is just easier. As you can see, the diamond sword isn't actually too big for him. It's actually perfect size. So yeah. Alright, so you can just stick it in his hand. Works fine. Now, we still don't have him in this hijacked world. So I think you can import him into the hijacked world. I don't like, or into whatever world you want. I don't like that as much, simply because his textures sometimes gibble up. But I'm gonna do that for this. So I'm just gonna scrap this for now. I showed you how to append items, so now I can append from and get Steve over here. So I go to Minecraft rigs, version 2 rig, object, and then now there's all of these. Now basically appending Steve is a bit of a pain, just a bit. So like I prefer to just make my stuff in his project and append things to him. But I think if I highlight all that, yeah, as you can see, it's a bit gibbled. So what I'll normally do is instead I'll just open up this rig, all perfect. I'll just press T to get that menu back. Make sure I showed my display. Now file, import OBJ again. Now I might be missing some questions that you had, but I hope this lets you all start on your animations. I try to respond to as many comments as I can. Please, before leaving the comments, look at other people's comments to see if your question's already been answered. Because answering the same question's kind of tedious, and the more comments I get, the more busy I have to be. So I'm going to import this OBJ. Now, as you can see, it's fully textured, and my Blender's already lagging. That can be handy, but when you're importing giant worlds, it sometimes can't be handy. What I'll usually do is, if something like this happens, is I'll take a block that I know that I won't use in the scene. Like in this case, water. Right here. Now it highlights all of that block when you highlight it. See, I've got stationary water, and I can just delete it. And I guess that frees up a little bit. But as you can see, Steve is huge compared to this thing. So what I'll do is I'll press G, Z, get him up here. And then, now this, if I were to resize him like this, he just gets kind of gibbled. Looks kind of ridiculous. So you gotta go into object mode and select hit this rig, as in like his bones. Hold down shift, right click to select multiple parts, so you've got his body, his head, and his rig selected. Then you can size him down, and it doesn't gibble up. Now just zoom into there, and now you can go into here and add a camera, which you'll need. Now what's nice about that other rig is it already has a camera and light source for you, which makes things easier, but as you can see, the camera's also huge, so you can just size that down, do whatever you want. Also, in your render settings, you're going to want to change the aspect ratio because it's a square. And as you can see from my last video, watching square videos on YouTube can be frustratingly annoying. So, if I were to press F12 at this point, black, just nothing good. So, we don't want that, we don't want blacks. And the reason we have black is because we don't have a lamp or any type of point. I prefer sun. Sun is good because you can just G it upwards. Now this is a huge sun, and if we were to render it now, everything's gonna look, actually no, things don't look too bad, but if the sun's too close, everything will look white and way oversaturated. I like to size the sun down so that it's normal-ish. And also I'll go into, sorry if I'm being a bit fast, I can't record for too long. I'll go into the sun settings right here and turn on sky. Now if I get a good angle with this camera, also you might find that you're seeing things in a weird view, like that looks like kind of like this. It's just like, what the heck, I can't even zoom in, I just see everything that's in front of me. My gosh. So what you do is you just press 5 on the numpad, And bam, you got that. Now, occasionally also, you'll be in some kind of weird view where you see things like, I think, maybe 7, is it? I don't know. But you'll be in a weird view where you don't see things correctly. If you just want to be able to rotate around the object you're looking at, press period on the numpad. Bam, you can do that. So, I'm just going to get this camera angle good. Now, I've had some bad lighting in the past. I hate bad lighting. So what I'll normally do is I'll add another lamp. This time a Hemi. I like Hemis. No wait, not a Hemi. I hate Hemis. Stupid Hemis. I'll just add a point or an area. I like areas. Stupid Hemi trying to be an area. Nobody likes you, Hemi. You're adopted. That's harsh. He's not actually adopted. So, yeah. Just take the Hemi, point it towards your character. Now, here, I'll probably see the oversaturation issue that I showed before, where everything's... my eyes! Look at that. That isn't right. Yeah, that's when a Hemi is much too far. This distance is way too far. So I gotta just bring the distance up to a good point. And you can turn the size right here of the area shape up. I like to do that. If you want to get smoother shadows, you can add sampling. That makes your render time slower though. I'll just size this thing down so that it's at a reasonable size. So it isn't like dead. Now it should be decent, maybe still a bit oversaturated. But see, look, that isn't too bad. It kind of looks like there's a light following him, and he looks kind of bad in that position. Now another thing cool about this rig is his legs. Look at his legs. His legs don't actually have knee bends like the other guys did. Oh, here, let me get into pose mode. His legs don't actually have knee bands, they just have these foot targets. Now, wherever you move down the foot target, the foot automatically bends towards. Alright, but, so, and his knee direction focuses on these. Now, I've actually got these lost phasing into blocks. Believe me, that's annoying, but as you can see, do that. Now, there are always ways to screw up. Control-Z is your best friend while animating, because you'll probably screw up a lot. Now, you guys needed me to explain the timeline a little bit. Oh, oops. So I'll bring up a timeline. Alright. Keyframing. Now, basically, a keyframe is an edit to an object. And no matter what, your object will always be in that position when it reaches that keyframe on the timeline. So that means, no matter what the heck I decide to do with Steve, these leg points, now that they're keyframed, right here, now that they're keyframed, will always be in this position whenever I'm at the 0 frame. So if I decide to, at 10 seconds later, bring this leg up here, and that makes no sense. Bring it right there, and be like, wha. As you can see, his leg will return to its original position at the first keyframe. Wah. 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 But, yeah. So, feel free to do whatever you want, really, with that. New. Moi. New. Moi. Sorry, I'm having way too much fun. So, yeah. Try out this new rig. Remember, if you use it in an animation, credit VM Comics. He's the guy that did Tree Pigs and fishing. Something like that. I don't know, I really like his animations. Also, check out my other stuff. Comment about anything. If you are a subscriber to my channel and you want to be called something, like, I don't know, you know, because other people call their subscriber stuff. If you want to be called something, name what you want to be called in the channel, but make sure you word it, I want to be called. So don't just say the name or I'll be like, what the heck is that guy talking about? But yeah, also, one other thing to be careful for is sometimes you'll be like, okay, so here's a keyframe, I want to edit that. So you'll be like, I don't want his leg to be in that position. But you'll accidentally go one frame before, as you can see right here, you're one per frame before. And then, so you'll edit, and you're like, I don't want his leg to be like that, I want it to be backwards. Like this. Bam. Which is kind of messed up. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. But and then you'll end up with this weird glitchy animation where it'll go to your keyframes, but then bam, in one frame it'll just kick back and forth like a gibbled person. That's easy to do if you want to just do that. Now, I'll just tell you a couple cool tricks for animation. Say you've made an animation, you're like, whoa, this is way too fast of an animation. I can't even comprehend what's going on. Go to the dope sheet. Dope sheet is dope. That's all I can say. Say there's a keyframe here. I don't want that keyframe. Delete. You can press X or the delete button. Now, you go to the start of your animation and say you want it to be slower. See, look at it right now. Look at how fast he moves his leg. What if you want that to be slower? Simple. You go to the start of the animation, press S, and then bring it outwards. Well, actually, no, that might not be a good idea. You might want to select the start of the animation, then press S. No, that didn't work either. Maybe just select all by pressing A. And then size it outwards. Other way. And as you can see, as you go, the animation gets slower and smoother. Which is nice because then you can speed it up later. Or slow it down later if you need to and it won't look choppy. So, that's a couple animation tips and tricks. Steve, if you get too close to his face, looks like really weird. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next video. And I'm hoping to be able to, I don't know, suggest any type of video in the comments. Any at all. Just do it now. Any type of video. Do you want me to, like, I don't know. Also, my VAT19 stuff came today. Check out VAT19.com. They've got awesome stuff. But yeah. Okay. See ya. Bye.